So I got a customer's trailer that brought in. One of his employees apparently drove it off the shoulder of the road with a light machine on it, but it broke some stuff. There's a couple things I need to address on it before I'm willing to let it leave the shop, such as stuff like that. I've seen that quite a bit. It'll leave a trailer yard when they're brand new and they'll have slop like that. It's ridiculous. But here's a big problem back here. So it went off the road and it broke the equalizer and mounting bracket completely off. You can see it up there, missing that. They have tie downs holding it up there, chains and stuff, so they could limp it back to the yard. Got a new equalizer, got a new mount for it. I don't know where the bolt is. Maybe he's got the old one on here and I can use the old bolt. But I want to try out this new little gadget that I got in the mail. If you guys are anything like me, have way too many vehicles, sometimes batteries die on it, and sometimes they're completely shot, and other times you can recharge them, but this thing will let you know if it's completely junked or not. I'll put a link in the description below. Get 10% off with my code. Try her out. So let's see if this battery's any good right here. That was dead. Battery test. Regular flooded. Testing. 100% healthy. Charged to 13.8. She's good to go. Damn, that's actually super handy to have. Obviously it doesn't need any batteries. You're hooking up to a battery. Boom, boom. Link in the description below. Check her out. That's something new. Only person I've ever seen balance a trailer tire was my old man, and I know he didn't balance these ones. Pretty heavy duty trailer, but this is a prime example of why I don't like the light duty suspension. You got they're 8K axles, pretty sure. Yeah, they're definitely not 7s, they're not 10s. 10s would be oil bath. But you got that equalizer right there. It's such a weak link compared to a torsion axle, which is quite a bit tougher. Well, here's some interesting information. You see how that right there is nice and shiny? That is a fresh brake. Now this side is super rusty. This side has been broken for quite some time now, and that trailer has been held together just on that one side. So driving off the road was the final verdict. That's why your pre-trip is so crucial. Check your suspension. I always check that kind of stuff right there. Check the other side before we're done. So I got this guy off there. When I'm grinding this off, I'm trying to grind into the piece instead of grind into the frame. So I'm leaving some of the weld that's still up on there. Very minimal hit right here, because this is, still need that. We need that to be as thick as possible. Got that sucker off. I left the welds on this side so I can line my new guy up in there, no problem. Is the right one. It fits right up there nice and snug like it should. But I got to run to the store to get those parts. But before I do that, I figured we would go ahead and address the issue up at the front. because this just bugs me though. I don't know how you can just cope with that rattle bot like that. Normally you can just tighten these down and squish this, but there's too much of a gap in there, plus it's worn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple washers in there. Looks like I need 15/16 bust these off. Look how long it's been wearing on it. Screwed up the bolt threads a little bit, but overall the bolt's fine. It's grade A. Ooh. Just took one washer to do that, but I'm not going to just leave it with one. I haven't seen too many of these that had 3 bolts. We're holding on there. Still kind of trying. Come on, get on there. So much better. Yeah, that should work. Put it in literally the same spot. I just wanted to double check this new equalizer was going to do the job. And yes, it's just a grade A bolt. It's supposed to be a bushing thing with a Zerk on it, but honestly I don't think it was ever Zerked anyway. So, and I got some new bolts for the back. I got washers for it. Not sure why, but that'll go down in there. It's supposed to. And then a little guy that goes right here just to hold that guy from falling out. No doubt about that. Come on, back axle. Back here, just a bolt goes in there. I even bought a bushing for it, but the bolt barely fits. So that's all it's gonna get. Ain't going nowhere. Unless this cheap design decides to break like the last one did. Alright, so I got her burned in there. Didn't overlap on a couple spots up there just to make sure she had a good bite. It had plenty of room since it's kind of tapered since I did a little grinding action right there. Bolted the bolt heads and tack there. I put a washer on here because I had it, welded the washer, and then welded the nut to that so that you can get this thing off there. Some folks will actually weld the threads to the, like, well, put the weld right there. That sucks because you can't reuse it. This one, if you just had to take this apart for whatever reason, you could still use the hardware, cut that thing off, just cut the weld, and you're good to go. Then I welded that nut over there as well. So this is we got burned in up there and everything. Well, boys and girls, I'm pretty happy about that. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. That's probably more than likely welded better than a factory would have been. Good deep penetration, like should be. Check this out, the tire kits back there and everything. The suspension design is just, it's goofy. Overall, the trailer, I mean, if you got these big, huge D-rings on it, kind of consider this trailer to be heavy duty. Certainly, that's only a one-off that side broke over there. But let's just check, see what the other side looks like. What do we got here? Same exact thing. This broke on this side, just as the other one broke. This one's only riding on the outside piece. This one's cracked about halfway through on the left and a quarter on the right. She's ready to freaking pop off there, so we'll get a good burn into that thing right there. I'm not going to take it all apart because it's all welded together and stuff, but got to make sure you check that kind of stuff. Don't fix just the one side that you know is broken. Make sure the other one's fine too. And then check all this other hardware. See, that it's just a weird design how this works. All those look good up there. U-bolts. These lighter duty trailers that are still carry a lot of weight. And check the U-bolts and all that stuff. Well, it's not easy to weld underneath the trailer. I don't know if put a trailer on the lift. This trailer's probably not very light. But I got it welded on the top real nice. Got underneath. It actually underneath, it wasn't cracked all the way through from what you saw on the top. So that one was pretty fresh cracked. So I'm happy to see where that one finished out. But I got everything underneath. You guys can even see underneath there. She's all welded up good and strong. Multiple passes on pretty hot weld. So I think this is all done. Check everything else before I leave this scene. Here's how this one looks from this side. All clean. I'm happy with it. Better than factory. Oh, here's why it broke. Because I put this one in the same exact spot that the other one was in. Measured it off. And the inside flange sticks over more. The inside platform, it sticks over quite a bit more than the outside one. So that's why that cracks. It puts way more leverage right there on that. So that's why I built this web up. This is why I built that weld up a lot more, so it had a lot more support right there. But check all the lights, make sure I didn't fry any of the wires. I just ran the trailer brakes. They work just fine. All in all, I think she's back in action. This has got to be the longest bumper pull trailer I've ever freaking seen. And it's, I don't know, 5 feet wide on the deck. This thing is for hauling his man lift, like the one we got, except his is yellow. And instead of 72 feet like ours, it is 90 feet, 90, maybe a little bit more than 90. Hey kid, there you go. All right, this trailer's all done. I'm gonna text the owner and tell him it's ready for him. But this suspension right here, this is just like entry level, kind of rubbish. I won't ever buy a trailer with this kind of stuff on it again. Either jump up for a heavier duty trailer to get the hutch suspension, or you get the torsion axles, and it won't even have an equalizer. It'll have two independent axles that have their own suspension built into it, torsion hitch. Show those another time. But this is the exact reason why I didn't like my Texas Pride, because I cheaped out and I bought cheap suspension. So those equalizer and this piece right here, they're just I don't really trust them, and this one obviously was going to fail on this side, and the other side completely failed. But she's all ready to go. Trailer brakes worked, all the lights still worked on it, so I didn't fry nothing when I was welding. Disconnected it from my truck, got a good weld burned in right there. That one's definitely thicker than the stock one that was on there. It didn't take too much to grind off the stock one, all of about 45 seconds, and I was through it with a little grinder. But anyway, she's done. Let me know if you guys ever had one of these fail. Expect to see more of these little weak trailers suspensions fail than they do. I mean, they hold up, but when they break, gosh dang, it's not a good day. So anyway, let me know what you guys' input is on the weak ones, and if you ever broke any of those. This one's done. See you guys.